Hello, this video will explain to you how to graph Excel data from a spreadsheet. Specifically, this is for my AP Biology students graphing the data from the natural selection of Jelly Bellicus experiment that we did. Here's the data from the experiment. I would recommend putting the different colors of Jelly Bellicus across the top in the top row and the different time periods in one column. So breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then we did 3 different parts. This is part 1. Part 2 for mimicry, and Part 3 for population shift. Once you've filled out this data table, then click and highlight the data like that. Don't include the title. Then go over to Insert, and then we need to insert a column graph. We're going to do a clustered column graph. So if we'll click on that, I'm going to slide that over. Instead of having the different colors, I want the breakfast, lunch, and dinner as the clusters. So I'm going to right-click on the graph, go to Select Data, and then tell it to switch the row and column. Hit OK. That shows up now looking with breakfast as one cluster, lunch is a separate cluster, and dinner is another cluster. Automatically generates some different colors for my categories. But of course it shows pink spots and it does a blue column. So if you put your mouse over one of the blue columns, double click, it opens up the Format Data Series window, and we're going to go to the Fill and Line bucket to tell it what color we want it to be. We don't want it blue, we want it pink. So you can go down, I've used pink in the past, or rose, so you can click on that, or go to More Colors. You can do standard colors or custom. If you want pink, I could kind of do a red here, go with a lighter pink like that. Say OK. That's going to be the fill. It has an outline or a border in blue as well, so we could go down here and select the color of the border. But this is a pink spots. I don't want a solid for that, so I'm going to go to Pattern Fill. Pattern Fill gives me some choices. I'm going to use maybe this checkerboard fill, and now columns look like they have spots. And you can do that with each. So again, this pink, just double click on one of the pink columns, go to the paint can, select the color, orange, double click, change that to orange. Again, go to More Colors. I can select darker orange there. I dislike all the different lines. You can leave them in if you want. I want a border around my entire graph, so that's good. A border around just the table itself inside the graph. A gray. Then you can just change your chart title. So next we need to add a axis title for the vertical axis. By doing that, click on the graph somewhere. Up here in Chart Tools, you should be in Design. Go over to Add a Chart Element. Axis title, Primary Vertical. And that's going to be the number eaten. The other horizontal axis is already labeled, and we have a key. Now if I click on the key, I can change the position if I want it on the right, and there's my finished graph. Then you would do the same for mimicry. For population shift, this time instead of a clustered column graph, I want a line graph. So I'm going to go down here to the line graph. Has start 1, 2, and 3. That's not how I want it, so I'm going to right click on it, go to Select Data, do Switch Row and Column. That's how I want my lines. They all start with a population of 10, and then a first generation, second generation, and third generation. So that's what I want. And then it's just a matter of, again, you can move the legend over to the right. You can add a chart title, add axis titles, change the look of the graph. But that's how you would prepare that kind of a graph in Excel. If you're using a different spreadsheet besides Excel, maybe Google Sheets or something, where I can right click and do select data and then switch the row and column. I'm not sure how you do that in Sheets, so if that's something you're not sure of, you'll have to just maybe do a Google search for that or search the internet for that. And hopefully this has helped you learn how to do these particular graphs.